Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with Mixed Media Mayhem and Calvinball. The challenge this week for Mixed Media Mayhem is to scrap lift this amazing page, and I am forgetting at the moment, I didn't have it written down here. I will tell you in a second who that is. I wrote it somewhere. It is Melania Bertin. Melania Bertin, B-E-R-T-I-N. I'm not familiar with her work, but I love this page. So, I'm doing a photo of Ava, and it's the first page I'm doing after the unboxing of all of the supplies that Ava's grandmother Wendy, who passed away before Ava's mom came into our family, and I have never met her, and I feel privileged to be able to scrap her grandkids, and I wish she were here to scrap them with me, but she isn't, so I'm going to use quite a few of the supplies from there and a bunch of stuff from my own stash for the Calvinball points, and we will go from there. This paper is part of a collection by Scrapabilities or Scrap Paperabilities, and this isn't the one, but it has a bunch of ephemera and tags and all kinds of things that you can cut out. So as I use the things, I've already cut up the one that I opened. This is a different one that I haven't opened yet. So as I use things, I will tell you. This is one of the papers that it was folded in half. I kind of tore it here. I'm going to tape it down, and then I'm going to kind of paint over that edge. I'm just going to put it right here and kind of let it go. Now, I'm going to use something I've never used before, which is gouache paint. I'm going to do a mix of this scarlet color and this crimson color. A much darker red there. Excuse me. And I'm just going to kind of blend them with the paintbrush. And I'm going to try to do this wide bit here that kind of narrows with the really messy brush strokes, and then I'm going to do something horizontal. So we'll see how far I get with all of that. So for the wide part up here, I like how that's coming out. I don't want I like how the colors blend together. Whoops. I'm going to glue that back down there. Okay, I'm going to call that done, and it seems like it's drying really fast. So I'm going to place this down on the floor, and I'm going to do some stenciling around kind of just I'm using lumberjack plaid, distress oxide, and I'm going to do some more over here. And I'm picking up a little bit of paint along the way. I'm going to use that. I'll just kind of press it down. Okay, I maybe want to do some more of this out this way through the holes. They're a little bit further apart. There we go. And I'm going to kind of do this part here. Okay, just kind of getting a few splotches here and there. I will put that aside, and I'm going to keep this because I'm going to ink the edges of some of the things. I have some stamping I want to do. I'm kind of, first of all, I want to stamp on top of these hexagons as a nod to some of the hexagons that are in the original. I'm going to stamp on these. So I'm going to move this out of the way there. And I'm going to stamp. And these stamps are from a set of that I ordered from Amazon. I think I searched for mixed media stamps, and a whole bunch of things came up. These are not branded. I don't know what the brand is. They came up, and they were cheap, and I ordered them. And this has a receipt. This has like a contract, and this is a check. This is another check. I've got kind of a check and a contract on, or the receipt on here. So I'm going to do this and just kind of go over that. See, it's got part of the receipt on it now. And I'm going to go with the check on the other one. And I'm going to go twice. And there, that's kind of definitely messy enough. But I'm going to use them to trace a few other hexagons. And then I'm going to do some more stamping with this. I'm going to cover the red ink. Let's ink the edges of these guys. There's a lot of red in the photo, and I kind of want to play that up. And there will be a lot of kind of Calvinball points that I'm going to desperately try to fit into the mixed media. I really like how the paper is kind of separating from the background. I don't know if you can see it here. There, you should be able to see that now. It's kind of lifting up. It's warping. So I can add some glue and get that back down. But for right now, I don't hate how it looks. So let me get, if this one is going to go, let's see where the photo is going to go. Let's kind of do that first. I thought the photo would go here. So if I do one of these here, then I want another one like a traced one. To go right here. Actually, let me glue this down, and then I can make sure that they are up next to each other. And let me trace another one maybe off this way, and then I'll put this one here. There, that seems good. Get that down, and I don't know what this ink is going to do on top of the gouache, but it seems to be showing, and that's kind of what I was going for. Of course, I like that, and then I can do this one right there. And then that kind of gives me some little nooks and crannies to do some Calvinball points. Okay, let me go ahead. Well, no, I'm not done stamping yet. I want to do a, let's see, where's the black ink? Is here. I'm going to do some of these dots. And I don't like how they came out in a square. But I'm going to still do them. And I may do that. Okay, I have another one of those stamps, but I don't think it's going to have that squared off look. There and there. And a lot of that's going to get covered up. I'm going to go ahead and do some of these down here, and maybe a secondary one there. Just kind of getting things a little bit messy. All right, I'm going to put the inks and the stamps off to the side, and the paint. But I'm going to keep this little guy, and I'm going to use some liquid glue in case the wet paint. So I'm going to do a little bit of glue here where that's peeling up, and I'm going to press it down and let that glue add a little bit of texture there. It kind of looks like it's added color, but it will dry clear. I hope. I'm using, this is from Wendy's collection, Ava's grandmother on her mother's side, and this was part of the unboxing. I'll put a link to the unboxing video if you didn't if you haven't had a chance to watch it, or if you didn't see the post, I really, it was kind of a bittersweet share, if you will. Like I said, I kind of hate that Wendy's not here to scrap her granddaughters, and that I am privileged enough to be able to do so. And I'm going to save this as for something that I can use to see theirs. I need it over to the side. Now, I die cut these with a die of mine from Bramble Fox, but the paper was part of a little sheaf of small specialty papers that belonged to Wendy. And so I'm going to add this. If you saw the unboxing, you know that she left some die cut film strips, and I've lost them. I put things away yesterday and I have no idea where I put those. So a lot of Wendy's things were kind of vintage, heritage kind of supplies, and I think I can mix them in with my supplies, which are not vintage. This is some jute cord that she had with some jewelry making supplies, and I'm going to use it on layouts. I'm going to put it just this side of the ruler, and I'm hoping it kind of straightens out and behaves. If it doesn't, that's okay too. After I finish filming, I'm going to go back and on parts of this, I'm going to do what Melania did in her original, which was to just stitch a few stitches kind of around the jute. So let's see, this needs to be a fairly small piece, and I'm going to put it here again. And I kind of like that it's crossing over the top of the film strip. That's by design. I thought that would add some texture on top of something that's kind of slick. And I'm snipping it off. A while back, I kind of purged my acrylic paint supplies. Not necessarily purging. I gave them away to my granddaughter, and for a project that they were working on. Let me stop and think here for a second. I'm going to get some of the larger items, including what I plan to have as my title. The title is going to be this, Good Times, and I'm going to add at TJ's, and it's Trader Joe's. So I thought I would do it here and then extend the title there, which is why I made this a little bit skinny. But before I do that, I wanted to add some tags. And in those supplies from Wendy, there were some tags, including this one. I cut them out, fussy cut, and they were intentionally, I'm assuming it was intentional, imperfectly shaped. So let's see, where is mine? This is one of the punches, the hole punches, that was in Wendy's supplies. It's way too small, so I'm going to use my own. I didn't realize it was a tiny hole, but I definitely am happy to have that because I don't have one. So I'm going to do this. I'm probably going to cut it off a bit. And I'm going to put a little glue behind it. I'll put it right there. And I have another one, this black and white big polka dots. I intend for the color scheme here to be mostly black and white and red, with touches of brown to kind of balance and to match and coordinate with the ruler there. I need my punch again, and I'm going to put some black and white twine through here. And through here. I'm not sure what I'm going to do beyond that. I think I'm just going to let it kind of sit out there, and I may, well, let's see. I want them to overlap kind of like this. So what I'm going to do is get some foam tape and separate them and join them. Join them and separate them with the tape and put them at slightly different angles, and then put this one there. And by putting that at a different angle, I'm probably gonna make it harder to figure out how to do the do that. Okay, now I need some tape to build up this Good Times disc, and I have no idea where this came from. It's one of the oldest pieces in my stash, and it's been kind of hanging out for a long time. So I'm going to do that right there, and while I have, so I can see the spacing, and I don't cover up my area for a title, I'm going to do this. First thing I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to put some glue on this and get it down. You may recall that I used this as a stencil, or a mask, I guess, a couple days ago, where I took it's a laser cut chicken wire netting kind of thing, and I dipped it in texture paste and got a I created some texture. I've just stamped with it almost, and I kind of enjoyed that. This lace and burlap I thought might be kind of cool there, but I think I'm going to lift this up more. I think I need one more layer of tape under there. It's leaning, and I don't like elements to be leaning. So let me try to get this to work. I'm going to put some glue here. Okay, great. Now, let's see. If I have a red V, I have a red-ish V. I'll do the yellow A and the red-ish T. I need to I wonder if they had an @ sign. I don't see one. Those are always handy. I'll do it that way. I'm gonna need a little bit of foam over on the other side, and I need this kind of foam. Sorry about this. Getting ahead of myself. I'm so excited. I'm looking forward to seeing how this turns out. I am sure it's going to be another, kind of heavily embellished pages. Okay, so now and then I'll have to use this green T, and then there's a yellow J. Okay, so I'm going to glue this flat down, and then I'll overlap it. I'll bring it up here, and then the blue J, let me get a some foam. I want it to overlap kind of this way, so I'm going to put this foam down the side, and then I'll let it overlap at the bottom of the J. And I will put some glue so that it holds on to that T. And I need an apostrophe. I'm going to use the yellow one. And then I have to find the right color of S. Okay, we have only one color of S. And they're both pink. So there we go. All right, now we have some fun. Let's have some embellishing fun. I have a chipboard hexagon that I'm going to put here with the other hexagons. Right there. There are lots of buttons and other circular elements in the original. I have this little red, it's mulberry paper. It's from Wendy's stash, and I die cut a Viewmaster reel out of it. Put that there, and then I have a small, poorly cut tag that kind of reinforces some red and yellow colors, and it's trying to get a hole in it. I'll put something so that you can't see. I don't like that. Let me see how I can do this one. This one has like a recipe in script on it. It's from, the same cutouts, but it really kind of reinforces the kitchen-y cooking kind of theme. I'm gonna lay this Am I really gonna do that? Do I really think I can do that? I'm gonna hold off on that. I'm gonna go back to this one because it's smaller. And I want to add a piece of dotted craft paper that's from a Vicky Boutin line. This has a little bit of writing on it too, so I'm going to kind of slide it in. And you get a little bit of the same look there, and I can put something here to hide that. Look, I have another piece of this netting, and that can go maybe right in here, kind of sitting down over the red part. I'm gonna glue this in. Then I think I'll put some gears on top of it so that you can't see the holes I tried to cut. Does that make sense? I'm gonna do it kind of that way, and then I can put something over here. There. Where are the gears? Here are the gears. And these, normally I would cut these apart. And these are the last ones I have. But I like them all together that way. And you can still see the Viewmaster bit right there. I'm going to, I had a, this little pocket, and I was going to put it somewhere on the page. I was maybe thinking over here. That was before I decided on the large title. And I was going to have some things sticking out of it. So I think I'm going to still go with that. I'm just going to put it in a different place. But I want to put the things in first. This is from Wendy's stash, this key. And I get a Calvinball point for a key. It's gonna be a little bit, it's an embossed sticker. I'm maybe gonna put it this way so that it's not inside. I'm gonna let it adhere to the outside. I have a small tag right here. I'm going to try to punch the hole in the right place. I did. And I'll put it over kind of behind the key, and I'll let the key stick to it. Now, I have some flowers that can go, I'm going to put them on top, and I'm just going to glue them down. And I'll stick those kind of under the key, and I might need a little bit of glue on the key to make that work. And if I'm doing it right here, I may need to do it this way. I did want it under the film strip bit. I may need to do it this way, and I'll worry about filling it later. I want to get it into place. I was gonna also put this little banner tag kind of sticking out from inside of it, but I don't have room. It would fit, but not the way I've done that. So I'm gonna hold off on that. Remember that little piece of the measuring tape? I'm gonna have that coming out of it, and then I will take a button, maybe. I want to put this button out in the field, maybe up here, but I'm actually thinking I'm going to put it there, kind of in the middle of that stamping. What do I want there? I know I want to use this little "Love You" word strip here. I want to use the bunny rabbit sticker. This is an epoxy sticker from Paige Evans' collection. I'm going to put it right there. And I get, Calvinball points for those things. Let's see. What else can I put? Maybe I can put the pink butterfly here. This is also from Paige Evans, the same collection as the bunny, I think. I have a little toadstool. That's what I'm going to put right there in the middle of, like in between the tag and the measuring tape. I'll just put that right there, and it adds kind of a little red over in there. I have another little bit of red in this with this tape, and I'm going to create a cluster. I'm going to kind of wrap this in on itself, and I'll bring it out later. I have a hedgehog that I want to ink the edges of, and I'm going to create a cluster maybe with this guy and this layered on it with this, and then maybe something tiny like this little crown. How does that look? I'm kind of liking it. I have an arrow in here somewhere that I die cut out of vellum, and I'm not seeing it. It is a pinkish, reddish vellum, and I don't see it, but I will find it and put it on there. I have a squirrel that needs to go on here, and I'm going to let the squirrel be over here behind the rabbit. And I have this paper clip, which is also a bow, and I get a point for each of those things. I'll put that on there, and then I'm going to do an enamel dot or something right in the middle, maybe a sequin. Ooh, or a star. How about a star? I'm still working on this cluster down here. I don't have a fully formed idea in my head. Let me put this button there. I'll put a little bit of liquid glue on it so it stays on, it sticks on better. Okay, there's a cat here that's lying on its back begging for belly rubs. I want to use this. There's my arrow. Okay, let me get some glue on it and make it kind of tacky so that it doesn't stay too wet. And I'm going to add the arrow here, kind of in the middle of that stamping. I need it to be pointing correctly. I may have rubbed off too much of the glue. That seems to work. This is kind of cute, but I'm going to put it, I'm seeing some things that need to go down. I need to put this kind of rainbow flare there underneath this tag, so that you can see it, but it isn't obtrusive. This is also this is a piece of flare that has a camera on it. I need some foam for several of these things, so I'm going to cut it now. You get a point for a cat and a point for a dog, and I don't know that it either makes any sense here, but I'm going to kind of put some foam there and glue that down to the page. I'm not happy with it curling up like that. And it's the part that isn't stuck to the foam. There. That's down. I have this piece of a doily, and I still have this little snapshot thing, and I have this camera flare. The doily is bothering me because I don't really know. I'm gonna just put it right there. As I say, it's bothering me because I have no idea where it's gonna go. It shows me that it's got exactly the right place there, and then I'm gonna maybe do a little bit of foam behind this. And I want it to go up here maybe right in behind the elements that are sticking out of my pocket there, and pointing in, saying snapshot. I've still got the cat, and I have a dog. Where do I want these elements? Maybe right there for the dog. Okay, and then let's do the cat down here with a narrower piece of foam. Right there. And let's do this little cluster down here on some foam. Here I'm going to get a piece of this foam. I'm going to put it here, kind of like it's connected to the hexagons, but I'm going to do this circle of strawberries right there, and then I will put the hedgehog on with thick foam. I've got all kinds of notifications from our doorbell camera. I'm hoping that nobody's breaking in and I'm missing it because I'm filming a video. Here we go. That little guy kind of standing up there. This little tag. I've got adhesive on my on my scissors now, and they're not wanting to cut the adhesive, the foam. Okay, so there we go, and I cut a little bit off the bottom of that accidentally, so I had to trim the rest off. Kind of put this like that, and I have this camera flare that can go right under there, and I'll pick up my little silver crown. I get a point for silver and a point for crown, so out of Wendy's papers I found some silver, and I cut this silver crown. So I'm going to put a crown on the hedgehog. There we go. Now I have another button that I want to add kind of out in the field. I'm thinking maybe right there. And I have a dinosaur that I've made into a flare. It's a Stephen Duncan dinosaur. I want to do it maybe right here. And I have a tiny star that I'm going to put right there. I have a tree. If you were a tree, where would you want to be in this scenario? Maybe right there? That's good enough for me. And wait till you see what I'm going to do with this tree. I'm going to call it an avocado tree. And I'm going to put this little plaid avocado. I get a point for plaid. So I'm going to put a plaid avocado in the tree. Now, I get a point for gingham, and I've got that. I don't have any striped paper, but I do have polka dotted paper. So what I need to do is go hunt through my bucket of things that I know I could get points for in Calvinball, and right here is a little piece of striped paper. So I'm going to put some glue on it, and then I'll figure out where it goes after the fact. After I've got the glue on, I think right under there, don't you think? Maybe tucked slightly under there, and it's perfect. It's got all the colors, so it kind of brings in the colors that I've introduced with the title there, the title alphas. I have a bee that needs to make its appearance somewhere. I'm going to put it right here. I have this paper that I thought I would use to kind of add that brown look, but I don't think I need it. I'm gonna curl this over on itself. Like so. And then I'll let this go. maybe like that. And I'll glue it onto the S here. And I want it to curl. So I'll do that. Okay, so that's there. It gives it that kind of busy, stampy sort of look. I have a strawberry that doesn't really need to go there. I have glitter already, so I don't need the Nuvo drops, the glittery aqua Nuvo drops. So I thought I'd use these yellow ones. I do get a Nuvo drops point, and yellow is, there are some black speckles and some red speckles. I'm going to add some yellow speckles. And I'm going to use yellow sequins, and I'm going to glue them down. May as well glue them down with yellow Nuvo drops, right? I have 2 bottles of this. One I bought, and the other came from a retreat that I went to. I'm just going to put a few sequins on. Just every once in a while where I made one of those dots, I will put a sequin on. Okay. Let's go with this one right here. And we'll do this one right here. And we'll do that one's kind of buried. One more. Put it right there. Okay, that's enough. I'll put those away. And my finishing touch, I'm going to add a little bit of, well, I have a photo corner to add, and I have, out of Wendy's stash, I have some black photo corners. I think there was both a bag and a box of them. I'm going to go with the box because they are advertised as being self-adhesive. Oh, okay, so it's these. These are... Let me see what I've got here. I'm not able to peel them up. So they may have been self-adhesive 20 years ago. Right now, they appear to need some help. Ah, it's the whole thing. Is that right? Ah, it does. It is. I know what's happening. It goes on the outside of, and it's the photo corner kind of slides in. Not going to be able to use those. I will now instead punch a photo corner out of the dotty brown paper. That's an angle. This is photo. I have my photo corner punch here. I'm going to do 2 of them, although only one corner is showing. but one of these may have more more dots showing. Nope, they each have one dot. Okay, so I'm no better off with one than I am with the other. I'd really prefer this right here. So I'm going to do that and then kind of smudge that adhesive. Okay, I'll save that for another page. What was the other thing? Oh, washi tape. I don't have any washi tape on here. And I pulled out this batch of washi tape. And I thought I was going to use that. But now I'm thinking that I'm not going to do that. I'll use this, which is fake stitching. Oh my gosh, I'm at the end of this roll. I could have used 10 rolls of this. Oh, I hate that's at the end. So I'm going to use it anyway. I'm going to put some glue. It's not going to be as see-through-y as it was, but it will still show, and it's still obviously washi tape. And I'm going to do another bit of it. I need to do some glue here. This paper has really warped. You can tell it's kind of older and thinner. And I don't care if it buckles, because that would give it some texture. I just don't want it peeking up. So we'll go that way. All right. And the very last thing is to, oh, I just touched an enamel dot, or some Nuvo drops. I have this stamp. What have I done with my inks? It is a date stamp, and it has the date that the photo was taken. Let me make sure it's right side up. When I say let me make sure, I almost have to stamp it to see that. That's good. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of stamp here and here and here and there and there and down here and here, and I'm having to go very carefully around the Nuvo drops. Should have done this first. Yep, I know that. Okay, but it just kind of looks like a random stamp that I'm kind of adding to the composition. Looks like a texture stamp. Okay, done. And the page is done. I will not lift it up until those Nuvo drops have dried. My last thing I'm going to do is a little bit of stitching down here around this rope cord there. So let me pull out the original if I can find it. And we'll check and see. There's the kind of T-shaped design. That's fairly obvious there. And I have all kinds of random things attached here and there, and some circular elements around just like she does. So, you know, perfect, right? If she were playing Calvinball, this is what she would have done. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.